$10,000 to drive me to Paris.
I get the money, and I don't get hurt.
That's the deal.
Now, the government's top agent.
I can't remember anything that happened before 2 weeks ago.
Visa?
Yes.
Is about to become their #1 target.
What's in Paris?
It's a name, Jason Bourne.
Let's see if the Paris police can find him for us.
And the only way he can survive
Talk a lot.
is to find out who he is.
I guess you're not home. Monsieur Bond!
I don't recognize any of this. I don't recognize any of this.
Before they find out
Get the address? I think I got it.
Enhance.
where he is.
Get everybody up. I want them all activated. Do it now!
What is it? Something wrong?
We can't stay here. It's not safe. He's out of control. It's very clear what needs to happen.
Based on the international bestseller.
Is this not why you were here?
What makes a good story is a good yarn. Frequently you can get mired and get stuck in your own sludge with getting too intellectual. I think if you can tell the story, what this film is about, in more or less 30 seconds or a minute, less than a minute, then you've probably got something, because everything else after that is enlargement. This film is about boom.
Kleptomania has evolved into the elevator pitch, an examination of the commodification of education and the possibility of creative succubine in what should
Didn't push it, who would push it?
manipulated archive, stock and still imagery alongside observed footage of the open film class and dramatized segments. So the film Quantum Kleptomania is an idea of a film that came to mind in
The beautiful thing about
Greg's workshop in the creative thinking space. However, my actual documentary is about the workshop.
Things of what the treatment would be in terms of how it's mixed observational and talking head footage. Yeah, so she talked about, so that's. This brings me to Quantum Kleptomania, which again, what you did in terms of the treatment that you handed me, because that looked like an accomplished sort of ad treatment. Do you know what I mean? It was visually led, because it's going to be a visually led piece. So for something, as I was saying to you outside, your stuff for me works on sort of many levels intellectually. The fact that you're filming right now has thrown me a little bit, but that's fine. We'll keep going. It's not my first rodeo, David. Because it works on so many different levels intellectually, trying to get an elevator pitch, what I don't want to do is force you into making an elevator pitch, and thus.
So here's the treatment. A couple of university graduates,
I can have Jack Nicholson in the elevator with Robert De Niro,
B9,
and I've got the elevator operator
Scott.
that I really wasn't paying attention to.
Congratulations,
That's all
partner.
cast.
to
You've just killed an American
That
agent.
day will be about how bad the the elevator operator was, and with Jack Nicholson and Robert De Niro looking at me like I'm a moron. How could I cast this person? It's not about their scene, suddenly about him. You've got to pay attention.
So I've got to say,
everywhere.
How much
You'll regret if you don't.
However, I did find a challenge, which was cutting the interview.
Ask questions, because I can't just talk in 5 minutes about everything you've just asked me to
About
say.
the commodification of education.
The commodification of education. So, if we look at pedagogy of the oppressed...
You need to stay...
Oh, sorry. But is my head not blocking the thing?
No.
So, Paulo Freire wrote Pedagogy of the Oppressed in 1968. He's basically looking at liberatory forms of education versus oppressive forms of education. Guys, do you want to maybe just chat outside because David's trying to film? Sorry. Yeah, what was I saying? So, Pedagogy of the Oppressed.
It's alright. It's James. I was going to say I'm going to kick the shower in, but James is exempt.
Yeah, to be honest, David, if I'm really honest, what I think you need to do is use your editing.
Name's
Take
Dave.
an image.
Sorry about that. I've worked in graphics, film design for 20-30 years. During lockdown, I kind of stopped doing anything creative, I should say. I got sort of involved with the bottle, drinking too much, feeling sorry for myself. The workshops helped me by giving me some structure on my creative projects, really. Access to computers. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully gonna start creating projects again. More? Less? Don't know what to say.
Well, I've found Greg's attitude very encouraging, very positive. I've enjoyed seeing what the others can bring to the table, what they have to say, their viewpoints. I've enjoyed seeing people's documentaries, seeing what they're doing. Makes me think about what I can do. And yeah, I've just enjoyed the
yeah, good. Just had a bit of food. Just finished film class. What are you up to?
Yeah, just enjoyed the whole process of learning, something I know not much about, and how I can take that forward into my visual anthropology class when I do it.
Yeah, better for
That'll be
going
good.
out, but just
so
yeah,
I found it really positive.
Today seems to be the only day that I consistently go out and just.
Congratulations, Palmer. You've just killed an American agent. Congratulations, Palmer. You've just killed an American agent.
So in terms of, just to summarise how you would go about that, but so the beginnings of what the treatment would be in terms of how, it's mixed observational and talking head footage. Yeah, so she talked about, so that's not a lot of words, and I know that may seem like I've thrown loads of stuff out, but we're trying to boil everything down into the essential ideas. So next was Christina. Again, this moves on from the lift and closer to the doors of the office because of the nature of the idea. Examining portals as both a physical representation of social division, using the Deptford underpass to represent a pathway between the gentrified and sterile and the ungentrified and authentic, unique, and as an existential concept fed by sci-fi and the media. Yeah? Did we feel that was... Yeah. I mean, this is just my observation of the ideas. You guys are going to take these, I'll send these on and you correct them. Just create your own. And just you know, if you haven't written one before or already, just use it as a reference, nothing more. You know, it should be completely disregarded, but it's a reference point. So in terms of that beginnings of the how, mixed media using still and observational.
Just
you might want to ask people. David.
I already did.
You already asked the students.
Yes.
Well, these three strangers.
Yes. They're not strangers.
Did they ask you? Oh, okay, I'm confused.
Thank you. Apologies accepted.
Just make it clear. She's the chair. So Vicky and David, you guys know Greg's not here this week.
It's about this ex-military man who's cooking a soft-boiled egg for his wife, which takes 4 minutes, and that's how long the film lasts. And in that 4 minutes, we see the downfall of his relationship, and his wife walk out. Yeah. So it's a 4-minute film.
Because the mixed media element of what she wanted to do, I think, was important, where she used stills and she used other things, and it became an extension of the visual essay that she was already doing for her course. Yeah? Where can we go now? Abner, I knew Lloyd Jones. Using recollection from those who knew him to discover who her father, Lloyd Jones, really was, and so examine what impact he has had on her life and outlook, simultaneously making a social study of Dalston in the late 20th century and the interaction, impact and legacy of both the Irish and Caribbean communities there.
Sounds good. Wish I could have written that all down, but yeah, I'm good.
We're only reading these out, so I'll send these out to everyone. There's no point sending it out if I've got it completely wrong. So I'm just making sure I haven't. And then just use it as reference. You know, these are just, all I've written down is notes from what you said. I haven't invented anything here. This is your stuff, not mine. So in terms of modus operandi, multimedia, utilising archive, still and moving image alongside talking head, used as is and as VO and observational footage. Yeah? So again, the mix of those. So all of these ideas are really like, but
for applause, fade out.
But there are loads of, I think Hackney Council would massively want to get some sort of involvement and help you out on this, and certainly the Rio would. And the Rio, there are lots of different places in Hackney that hold fantastic archive. I think you'd get a lot of help in getting this done. So Claire,